Hello and welcome to BrushMyCon channel. Today we'll go through the concepts of LCM and GCD. There are two parts to this video. In the first part, we have already discussed what is LCM and what is GCD and how can you find LCM and GCD for two or more numbers. You can find the link of part 1 in the description of this video. In this video, we are going to talk about how to find LCM and GCD of exponents, how to find LCM and GCD of fractions. We'll see a couple of properties of LCM and GCD, and towards the end, we'll go through a couple of word problems on LCM and GCD. Now let's see how can we find LCM of exponents. So let's take an example where we have to find LCM of two exponents, and the exponents are given to us as 2 raised to 4 multiplied by 3 raised to 5 multiplied by 5 square multiplied by 7, and the second exponent is 2 raised to 3 multiplied by 3 raised to 4 multiplied by 5 cube multiplied by 11. Now whenever you're trying to find LCM of two exponents, you should always try to write them as product of powers of prime numbers. In this case, they have already given us as product of powers of prime numbers. So to find the LCM, first of all, we need to write all the individual prime numbers in both of those exponents. So I'll write 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7 and multiplied by 11. Now I need to raise each of these prime numbers to the highest power in both the exponents. So if I talk about 2, the highest power is 4. If I talk about 3, the highest power is 5. If I talk about 5, the highest power is 3. If I talk about 7, the highest power is 1. And for 11, the highest power is 1. So LCM of these two exponents is given by 2 raised to 4 multiplied by 3 raised to 5 multiplied by 5 cube multiplied by 7 multiplied by 11. So whenever you have to find LCM of two exponents, you need to write the numbers as product of powers of prime numbers. Write the unique prime numbers in both of them and raise the prime numbers to the highest power in both of those exponents. That's how you are going to get LCM of two exponents. Now let's see how can we find GCD of two exponents. Let's take the same numbers. So the numbers are 2 raised to 4 multiplied by 3 raised to 5 multiplied by 5 square multiplied by 7 and 2 raised to 3 multiplied by 3 raised to 4 multiplied by 5 cube multiplied by 11. In case of GCD, the method is a bit different. You need to write only those prime numbers which are common in both of them. So in this case, I can see 2 is common, 3 is common, and 5 is common. So I will write 2 into 3 into 5. Now you need to raise these prime numbers to the minimum powers in both of those exponents. So if you look at 2, the minimum power in both of them is 3. So I'll raise 2 to 3. If I look at 3, the minimum power is 4. And if I look at 5, the minimum power is 2. So GCD of these two numbers is nothing but 2 raised to 3 multiplied by 3 raised to 4 multiplied by 5 square. So to summarize, if you have to find GCD of two exponents, first of all, you need to write the prime numbers which are common in both of them, then raise the prime numbers to the lowest power in both of those exponents. So that's how you're going to find GCD of two exponents. Now let's see how can we find LCM of two fractions. So let's say two fractions are given to us and the fractions are 2 by 3 and 4 by 9. If we have to find LCM of these two fractions, the formula for LCM is, it is LCM of your numerator divided by GCD of your denominators. So that means LCM of 2 by 3 and 4 by 9 will be given by LCM of my numerators, which is nothing but 2, 4, and GCD of my denominators. So GCD of 3, 9. We already know LCM of 2, 4 is 4 and GCD of 3, 9 is 3. So LCM of 2, 3 and 4 by 9 is 4 by 3. Now once you found the LCM, you can quickly check whether your answer is correct or not. Remember one thing, LCM of two numbers is always a multiple of those two numbers. So if I try to divide the LCM of 2 by 3 and 4 by 9 with both of these numbers, I should actually get an integer. So in this case, I'll have 4 by 3 divided by 2 by 3, which is nothing but 4 into 3 divided by 2 into 3, which is 2. That means I'm getting an integer. If I do the same thing for 4 by 9, LCM of 2 by 3 and 4 by 9 is 4 by 3. So if I try to divide 4 by 3 by 4 by 9, I will get 4 into 9 by 4 into 3, which is 3, which is again an integer. So this is how you can do a quick check of whether your LCM is correct or not. Now let's see, how can we find GCD of two fractions? Let's take the same two fractions. So let's try to find the GCD of 2 by 3 and 4 by 9. So to find the GCD, we need to do GCD of numerators divided by LCM of denominator, which is nothing but GCD of 2, 4 divided by LCM of 3, 9. We already know GCD of 2, 4 is nothing but 2 and LCM of 3, 9 is 9. So GCD of 2, 3 and 4 by 9 is nothing but 2 by 9. Now remember one thing, GCD of two numbers is always a factor of those two numbers. So if I try to divide those numbers by their GCD, I should always get an integer. So let's do a quick check whether our GCD is right or wrong. So let me go ahead and divide 2 by 3 by the GCD of 2 by 3 and 4 by 9, which is nothing but 2 by 9. So I will get 2 into 9 divided by 2 into 3, which is nothing but 3, which is an integer. Let's do the same thing for 4 by 9. So I'll try to divide 4 by 9 by 2 by 9 and I'll get 4 into 9 divided by 2 into 9, which is nothing but 2. So this is a quick way of checking whether your GCD is correct or not. Now let's go ahead and see other properties of LCM and GCD. Now let's try to find LCM of 0, a. So this is a property which you should remember. LCM of 0, a does not exist. So if someone is asking you to find LCM of 0, a, remember that it does not exist. Let's talk about GCD of 0, a. Now GCD of 0, a will be equal to a itself, because all whole numbers are factors of 0. That means even a will be a factor of 0. So the greatest common divisor between 0 and a will be a itself. How about LCM of 1, a? Now LCM of 1, a will be equal to a itself, and GCD of 1, a. Since 1 is factor of all the numbers, so GCD of 1, a will be 1. Now let's look at other properties of LCM and GCD. Now product of two numbers will always be equal to product of their LCM and GCD. Let's take an example. So let's take the two numbers as 6 and 8. So let's find out the LCM of 6 and 8. Let's use the common division method. So I know LCM of 6 and 8 is 2 into 3 into 4, which is nothing but 24. And GCD of 6, 8 will be nothing but the common factor in both of them, which is nothing but 2. So product of the two numbers, which is 6 into 8, is equal to product of their LCM and GCD. So 24 into 2, which is nothing but 48 is equal to 48. So remember this, product of two numbers will always be equal to product of their LCM and GCD. Now the next property is LCM of any two numbers will always be a multiple of their GCD. Let's take an example. So let's take the two numbers as 6, 8. We already know their LCM is 24 and their GCD is 2. So remember this, LCM of two numbers will always be a multiple of their GCD. So 24 will always be divisible by 2. So whenever you try to divide LCM by GCD of any two numbers, you'll always get an integer. Now LCM of two numbers is always greater than or equal to larger of those two numbers and is less than or equal to product of those two numbers. Let's take an example. So let's take the two numbers as 6 and 8. So LCM of 6 and 8, which we have already calculated, is 24. So what we are saying is LCM of 6 and 8 will always be greater than or equal to larger of those two numbers 6 and 8. That means 8, and will always be less than equal to product of 6 and 8, which is nothing but the LCM, which is 24, will always lie between the larger of the two numbers and product of the two numbers. Now GCD of two numbers will always be less than or equal to smaller of the two numbers. Let's take an example. So GCD of 6 and 8 is nothing but 2. And what we are saying is GCD of 6 and 8 will always be less than equal to smaller of 6 and 8, which is nothing but 6. Or nothing but GCD of 6 and 8, which is 2, will always be less than or equal to smaller of 6 and 8, which is 6. Now let's see, when is LCM of two numbers is equal to larger of the two numbers. Now this happens when your one number is a multiple of other. Example, if I talk about LCM of 2 and 4, we know LCM of 2 and 4 is 4, which is nothing but larger of the two numbers. Now LCM of two numbers will be equal to product of two numbers. This happens when the two numbers are co-prime. That means the numbers have only one common factor, which is nothing but 1. Example, LCM of 3, 4 is nothing but 3 into 4, which is 12. So LCM of two numbers will be equal to product of those two numbers when the two numbers are co-prime. Now GCD of two numbers is equal to smaller of those two numbers. This happens again when one number is a multiple of other. Example, if we take GCD of 3 and 6, it is equal to 3, which is nothing but smaller of 3 and 6. So GCD of two numbers will be equal to smaller of those two numbers when one number is a multiple of other. Now if GCD of two numbers is 1, that means those two numbers are co-prime. Example, let's take GCD of 2, 3. Now we know 2 and 3 don't have any factor common apart from 1. That means 2 and 3 are co-prime numbers. So if you know the GCD of two numbers is 1, that means those two numbers are co-prime numbers. Now all numbers can be written as a multiple of their GCD. Let's take two numbers as 6 and 8. So GCD of 6 and 8 is 2. So what we are saying, this number 6 and 8 can be written as a multiple of their GCD. So 6 can be written as GCD multiplied by some integer. Similarly, 8 can be written as GCD multiplied by some integer. So all numbers can be written as multiple of their GCD. Now all multiples of LCM are divisible by the numbers whose LCM we have calculated. Let's take an example. So let's say we are trying to find LCM of 6 and 8, which is 24. What we are saying that all multiples of 24 will be divisible by 6 and 8. So let's take multiples of 24, which is 24, 48, 72, 96, and so on. So what we are saying, all of these multiples of 24 will be divisible by both 6 and 8. That means 48 if I divide by 6, I'll get an integer. Similarly, 48 if I divide by 8, I'll get an integer. So all multiples of LCM are always divisible by those numbers whose LCM we have calculated. Now A plus B and A minus B will always be divisible by GCD of A and B. Let's take an example. So let's take the two numbers as 8 and 6. We know GCD of 8 and 6 is 2. And what we are saying is 8 plus 6 and 8 minus 6, which is nothing but 14 and 2. So these two numbers will always be divisible by GCD of 8 and 6, which is 2. So if I divide 14 by 2, I'll get an integer which is 7. And if I divide 2 by 2, again I'll get an integer which is 1. So A plus B and A minus B will always be divisible by GCD of A and B. Now we have learned a lot of properties of LCM and GCD. Let's go ahead and solve a couple of word problems based on LCM and GCD. At this point, you can pause the video, give a shot to this problem, and then you can look into the solution of this problem. So let's read the problem. Joe has 12 A-grade projects. So Joe has 12 A-grade projects and Chris has 18 B-grade projects. So Chris has 18 B-grade projects. So in total, we have 12 plus 18 is equal to 30 projects. Now they have to divide up the projects into small teams with equal number of projects in each team. So I have to divide 30 into teams such that each team should have equal number of projects. Now each team can have either A-grade project or B-grade project only. So that means I have to divide 30 into multiple teams with each team having same number of projects, and they can have either A-grade project or B-grade project only. So what I can do, I can probably divide this into 4 teams of 3 A-grade projects and this into 6 teams of 3 B-grade projects. So in total, I'll have 10 teams of 3 projects each. So this is one way of doing it. Let's read the problem further. So if there is no remainder, find the largest possible number of projects in each team. Now this is one possible solution, but there can be other teams or other possibilities where they can have larger number of projects in each team. So how do we find it out? We need to find a common factor of 12 and 18, which is actually the largest or the greatest. So we need to find the GCD of 12 and 18. Let's use the common factor method. I can divide them by 6 to get 2 and 3. That means the GCD of 12 and 18 is 6. So I can divide them into 5 teams with 2 teams having 6 A-grade projects and 3 teams having 6 B-grade projects. Let's try one more example. Again, you can pause the video and then resume it to see the solution. So let's read the problem. Joe and Chris were each given a piece of wood of equal length. Joe cuts his wood piece into equal length of 12 centimeters. So Joe and Chris were each given some length of wood. Now Joe is cutting it into equal length of 12 centimeters. I don't know how many parts are there. So let's say there are some number of parts such that each part is 12 centimeter, while Chris cuts his wood piece into equal length of 18 centimeters. So let's say Chris cuts into multiple pieces and each piece has length of 18 centimeter. If there was no remainder in both cases, find the shortest possible length of wood given to them. Now there was some length of wood given to them and Joe is cutting into 12 centimeters each and Chris is cutting into 18 centimeters each. And we have to find the shortest possible length of wood given to them. That means I have to find a number whose factors are 12 and 18, or nothing but I have to find the least common multiple of 12 and 18. So our answer will be given by LCM of 12 and 18. So our answer will be given by LCM of 12 and 18. Let's use the common division method. I can divide them by 6 to get 2 and 3. Now 2 and 3 don't have any other factor common apart from 1. So my LCM is nothing but 6 into 2 into 3, which is nothing but 6 into 2 into 3, which is 12 into 3, or nothing but 36. That means both of them we are given a length of 36 centimeter. Let's try one more. You can pause the video and come back after 2 seconds to see the solution. Let's read the question. Two steel pieces of length 340 centimeter and 408 centimeter are to be cut into pieces of all the same length without remainder. Find the greatest possible length of the pieces. So they have given us two numbers which are 340 and 408. And we have to cut them into smaller pieces of equal length and there has to be no remainder. And we have to find the greatest possible length of the pieces. That means I have to find a factor of 340 and 408, which is actually the greatest. So the question is asking us to find GCD of these two numbers. Let's use a common division method. So let's write 340 and 408. I can see both of them go by 4. So let's divide them by 4. We'll end up getting 85 and 102. Now I cannot find a factor of 85 and 102 easily. So let's see what are the factors of 85. So if I try to write 85, I know definitely it goes by 5. So it is nothing but 5 into 17. Now both 5 and 17 are prime numbers. So 102 has to be either divisible by 5 or by 17. Then only 85 and 102 can have a common factor. I know 102 doesn't go by 5. So probably it goes by 17. Let me try 17 into 6. I know 17 into 6 is 102. So that means they have one more common factor, which is 17, which will give us 5 and 6. So GCD of 340 and 408 is 4 into 17, which is nothing but 68. So you have to find the greatest possible length of the pieces, which is nothing but the GCD of 340 and 408, which is 68. So in this video, we have seen a lot of properties of LCM and GCD, and we have also seen a couple of word problems towards the end. I'm sure your concepts of LCM and GCD would be clear after watching these two videos. If you like this video, please go ahead and like the video, provide your valuable comments on this video, and please subscribe to the channel. Thank you.